It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, well, probably my oldest friend, as I mentioned on Facebook. My mom, Mary Knezevich, is in today, 90 years old today.
Yes, you're right.
Well, of course I'm right. That's why I'm having you in here.
Yeah, you're always right. You're never wrong.
Yeah, 90 years old, born in 1932, the same year as that iconic 1932 Ford.
Well, I'm kind of iconic, aren't I?
Well, yeah, kind of, I guess.
I know at least I'm an antique. I know that.
Well, yeah, you got a point there. But so your birthday today, 90 years old. Did you ever think you'd get to be 90 years old?
No, I wanted to live to be 75, and then I wanted to go right about that time. And that's been 15 years. I'm on borrowed time.
I guess, But kind of an interesting thing going on. You traveled around a bunch when you were young, and it's not like you were an Army brat, but you traveled a lot when you were young, right?
Oh, yeah.
Lived in a lot of different places.
That's right. My dad was an adventurer, and he always had a good job, but he'd get bored and want to go somewhere else. So I went to a different school every single year until I was a sophomore at Centennial High School in Pueblo. And I've been here ever since then, and I'm glad to be here.
So, but you've done Alaska and California and all kinds of different places.
Well, I was born in Pueblo, but by the time I was 3, my dad had taken us to Alaska. And we stayed there. I started school there and went to school in Seward. I can't remember for sure.
Oh, it's only been, 85 years ago?
I was going to say, that's a long time. And when I was about 6, we moved to California, to Oakland, in San Leandro, California. And we lived there in different areas there in Oakland until I was through with my freshman year in Oakland High School.
Okay.
Which was a huge high school. And so then we moved back to Pueblo, where I was born. Even back in 1947, I think it was, when I was going to high school. There was already gang problems and already drug problems in Oakland. So my parents decided to come to Pueblo, mainly because we had relatives here. And so that's why I came back and started my sophomore year.
So you didn't like Oakland even before they were playing the Denver Broncos?
Oh, you got that right.
There you go.
Well, I liked Oakland okay because I was a kid. When you're a kid, you just
do
like whatever. Whatever your parents are doing, you just go along with it, But that was World War II was, just shutting down about then. And it was... Well, it was a big time.
There you go. It's a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5. My friend in today, my mom, Mary Knezevich. Friends Friday brought to you by Advantage Home Mortgage. Faster, easier, cheaper. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, my mom, Mary Knezevich, in here on a Friends Friday. And thanks for getting up early. Do you always get up early like this?
No.
Well, I was thinking,
why would I get up early at 90 years old?
Well, that's true, I guess. What was I thinking there? But, people that know you know that you're a big Elvis fan.
Oh, yeah.
So you remember Elvis when he came out the first time?
Oh, yeah. I saw his first performances on TV, and I said, well, what in the world is that? But I just fell in love with Elvis way back when he very first started out, and I was with him till he was gone.
Like 1956 or whatever, probably, right? Maybe even
when
before.
He started?
Yeah, maybe even a little bit before.
I don't know.
But, so your Elvis, what was your all-time favorite Elvis song?
The Wonder of You.
Oh, the one I play for you all the time. Yeah, and I'll play that later on coming up, too.
Nick, you can't pick a favorite. I go back far enough that I like his old ones like Blue Moon of Kentucky and some of those when he was first recording, just some really...
So you were like a teenager then, is what you're saying?
Me or him?
Well, both of you. So I think he was born in 1935, right?
Yeah, I was 2 years older than Elvis.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, but I loved his old music, you know.
What about those goofy movies?
What goofy movie? His movies?
Well, I did 34 goofy movies that he didn't even like. Did you?
I didn't like any of them. Well, I think there were one or two, but the ones, most of the ones where he was singing and dancing, and that it just wasn't him.
What about Anne Margaret? Did you like Anne Margaret?
Well, of course, yeah, so did he.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, who wouldn't, huh?
I guess so. But yeah, music changed a lot since those days. But
yeah. Yeah.
Who else besides Elvis did you like?
In music?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never paid any attention to anybody else.
It was only Elvis. He set the bar pretty high then, I guess.
Yeah, well, I didn't have any money, so they could only buy records from one person, and so that was Elvis. And I had those, what were they, 45s?
Well, they were 45s
those little ones?
and 78s or something.
Yeah, and I had 78s. I don't even know what these are, but 33 and a third, were those records? Yeah, I had some of those. I still have some of those.
Wow.
But, no, I could only afford Elvis. Yeah.
So if you had to pick and choose, you picked Elvis, of course, yeah.
You have to be careful when you're limited.
Absolutely. What about movie stars and things like that?
Oh, gosh, I liked a lot of them. I liked all of those guys. I started to say Rockford. What's his name? James Garner?
James Garner, yeah, Rockford, yeah.
Yeah, Robert Redford. Well, Tom Selleck was way up on top there. And I still like a lot of them, but they're old like me. Not quite as old, but...
Well, James Garner's dead, too. So.
Well, yeah, he's dead. Yeah, if you die early, you don't get so old.
Yeah, I guess the same deal with Elvis, too. You know, he's always going to be 42 years old.
Oh, Elvis, that I couldn't believe. I still can't believe that.
Right.
That was quite a loss for all of us.
Yeah.
I never was much of a Michael Jackson fan. I guess I was too old school.
Well, he never said anything bad about you.
Well, I never said anything bad about him either,
until
but
right
I just didn't care for his music and stuff. And Elvis took priority.
What about the Beatles?
I was just going to say that Elvis took priority over the Beatles. I liked the Beatles, but I not as much, as much. But I liked their music, and I followed them quite a bit on TV and.
So you remember the first time they were on the Ed Sullivan Show?
Oh yeah, and I remember the first time Elvis was on there. It was real debatable, you know, whether he was going to have him or not. And I think before he went there, he was on Steve Allen's variety show or something.
Something like that, I think, probably. Yeah. You see all that stuff on YouTube and in history and that, but you were there for the first time.
Yes.
There you go. My mom in. It's a Friends Friday. Mary Knezevich in here on a Friends Friday, brought to you by Advantage Home Mortgage. Faster, easier, cheaper. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, my oldest friend, my mom, Mary Knezevich. I guess that doesn't sound real good, me saying that, does it?
Well, I'm not just your oldest friend. I'm your longest friend.
Longest friend. That's what I should say, longest friend.
Yeah, let's say that.
You're 90 years old today, so happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy birthday. So you and my dad got married in what year?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I think it was 1952.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I think it was 1952.
So that would have been, 70 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, well, I graduated in 1950, so it would have been 52.
1950. Where'd you guys meet?
Oh, he was parked at a gas station watching the people dragging the gut.
Dragging the gut. So you mean cruising Maine is what you mean.
That's a cruising Maine. We said dragging the gut.
Okay.
And he kept sitting there, and I kept driving by, and he told his buddies that if that gal goes by one more time, I'm going after her. And he did. And the rest was history for 48, 49, you know.
Yeah.
I'm too old to remember any of that.
So like 48 years at
What
least.
difference it make anyway?
Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway. Not now anyway.
No, it doesn't matter
It did back then, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Yeah. And
Well-
so you guys lived around a few places, but pretty much stayed in Pueblo, right?
Oh, yeah. We moved as soon as we got married. On the way, we got married and went to Wichita, Kansas.
Uh-huh.
We lived there a while, but it was so hot, I couldn't survive. I was even crankier than usual.
Wow.
And yeah,
That's hard to believe, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was as hot at 2:00 in the morning as it was at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't handle
And
it.
humid. Yeah.
Anyway, so we came back to Pueblo,
Okay.
and here I am. Here I am. And I've been here ever since. And most anything that's happened in the last 50 years, I've been aware of or part of.
Right here. I was thinking back, there was very few times I ever saw you cry, and one of them was when JFK died.
Yes.
And I was
Yeah,
obviously very, very young, but John F. Kennedy died.
Yeah. Well, that was when you were young and sweet.
Yeah, well, yeah, way back when, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I used to ask you when you were in high school, I'd ask you about the girls you were going with,
Uh-huh.
and you would say, Mom, you don't want to know.
I don't remember saying that.
Oh, you said that a lot of times.
Really?
And I'm glad I didn't, probably, for sure.
Well, maybe.
And, yeah,
Uh-huh.
well, yeah, you sowed a few wild oats,
Uh-huh.
and I guess we all did.
Uh-huh. And you're going to tell us about yours, or you're just going to throw it at me?
Well, we need to talk about Nick Donovan, don't we?
Probably not, but that's all right.
Well, nobody wants to know about an old lady. They want to know about you.
But so I can throw some stuff out there. You used to date one of the Pueblo Dodgers, right?
Well, yeah, the Pueblo Dodgers were playing here. They were the farm team from the Brooklyn Dodgers. And, yeah, I dated...
This was way before my dad came around.
Oh, yeah, I was only 17.
I just want to make that all clarified.
Yeah, I didn't date any of them after I got married.
After you got married, that
No.
was probably good, yeah.
Yeah, but I was 17 and 18 about that time, and they would play a doubleheader, and it wouldn't be over till midnight, maybe.
Right.
And then we would go to the Canton Cafe restaurant.
Where was that?
Well, it was between Maine and Grant or something. I don't know, Canton. People who know.
Okay.
Anyway, we would go there, and they all met there after the ball game.
The Dodgers all went there after the
They
game.
went there, and they all ate after the game. And I'm telling you, my mother nearly had a heart attack during those years because I was out so late.
Out so late and out with
Well,
the
I was
baseball
just-
team.
Yeah, I was just eating. That's all. But it was late, and, moms worry.
Yeah, I know.
You know how moms worry.
I know, yeah. It's a Friends Friday brought to you by Advantage Home Mortgage. Faster, easier, cheaper. My mom in today, Mary Knezevich, on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, my mom, Mary Knezevich, 90th birthday today, so we're celebrating on the radio. One reason is this doesn't cost me any money if we celebrate on the radio, see?
Oh, well, I know. I know that makes a lot of sense, Nick. You're so careful with your money.
One thing I'm not is careful with my money.
I can see by the vehicle you drive and the vehicle that I drive that we are very
opposites.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, very opposites, I guess, there. But Friends Friday, and speaking of vehicles, we were talking a little bit about the Dodgers and stuff, and you used to date one of the guys from the Dodgers, or some of the guys from the Dodgers, or all of the guys from the Dodgers. I don't know. But also there was the stock car track where I guess it was County Market, then it was Gibson's, and then it was Albertsons, as you mentioned.
On
stock car track on Prairie,
Prairie Avenue.
And you used to hang out there for a while, too, in the 50s, right?
Yeah, I hung out there. I was dating one of the drivers, and so I knew quite a few of the drivers that were there at the time.
Do you remember any of their names or anything?
Oh, Roger Nelson. And wasn't it Lou Wilshaw? Who else did I say? Walt Pickard.
Walt Pickard,
Walt Pickard. There were some others, but I don't remember. I had my eye on Billy to Spain.
One specific one then.
Yeah, Billy. It was Billy. And I would go out there, and my mother would go with me sometimes, and she just thought it was
Grandma would go to the stock car track?
Oh, yeah. Grandma went with me. She went. And she didn't care for it much. She thought it was kind of ridiculous. It beat your car up and your body and your...
waste of gas.
Waste of gas, waste of time. And then they'd get hurt and everybody would feel bad. And she'd say, well, they asked for it. That's,
I can hear that, yeah.
Yeah, I can, that's the way it was. But, most anything that happened in Pueblo in the last 50 years...
You've been around it somehow.
I know about it, of course. It doesn't mean I was part of it.
Well, what a lot of people don't realize is, again, today's your 90th birthday, but you're more tech savvy than a lot of people that are way, way younger because you spend a whole bunch of time on Facebook and things like that.
Oh, yeah. I'm on Facebook. I get really mad at my phone because it does crazy things, but it keeps me connected to my friends and my family, and I've always been real active at church, and I worked with a youth group there when Nick was, 16, 17, something like that.
Maybe younger.
And I worked at the church for about 14 years. So I have kept in touch by Facebook with a lot of those kids.
That live somewhere else in the country or the world or whatever?
No, most of them live around someplace in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Some of them, yeah. But too far, to be with me. But those kids from that youth group are grandparents now.
Wow.
And that I can't wrap your
head around that.
That's something. Because to me, they're still 16. And, we used to have a good time. And you were part of a group that called the Beach Boys, but it was spelled different.
Yeah, we did. We used to play in the band.
Yeah, you used to play
stuff.
at the church and at retreats and stuff we did. And Nick had a lot of hair and he was real skinny.
Things have changed, yeah.
You have. And they played, what would you call it? Karaoke stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of.
Pantomime.
Not pantomime, no. It's kind of like karaoke anyway.
Yeah, something like that.
Lip sync and some stuff, yeah.
They all had instruments, but none of them could play.
And we all had hair.
And they all had hair.
Yeah.
In fact, Ed Edmonds had long hair, and that was before people had... Before guys had long hair. Yeah, but...
that would have been the early 70s, mid-70s probably.
Yeah. And we talked about Alice Cooper and some of those. I didn't know Alice Cooper very well, but...
Yeah, well, him and Ed Edmonds ended up being good friends now, too.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alice Cooper did the song School's Out and
$1
Billion Dollar Babies. And
I have a jacket in the closet that has Alice Cooper on the back of his
jacket.
On the back of his jacket.
So if you see my mom going around or you see an older lady wearing an Alice Cooper jacket, you'll know that's probably you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's right. Oh, it's a good-looking jacket.
There you go. It's a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5. Pueblo's greatest hits, Friends Friday, brought to you by Advantage Home Mortgage. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My mom in here today, Mary Knezevich, on her 90th birthday. Thank you for coming in, getting up early on this Friday and coming in.
Well, it wasn't easy. Period.
I thought people that know you know that you stay up really late. You watch movies. You do all that stuff all the time.
Yeah, I stay up too late. That's why I can't get up in the morning. Yeah, people text me at 12 o'clock at night, and I think, why are they calling me at 12 o'clock at night? Well, I'm still up.
Yeah, you're answering the phone. And you're
they
texting
they know it. Yeah.
But we were talking about some of the things going on and different things. You were real involved, obviously, at the church. That would be Calvary Baptist Church. But I was thinking back, there are a couple places you worked. One, way back when, was Midwest Steel, right?
Oh, yeah. My first job was Midwest Steel. And I was dumber than the desk I was sitting at. and I asked the boss a question one time, and he said, I don't think you even know what town you're in. So he was wise to me. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Midwest Steel. So I was making like $1.50 an hour at that job. That was a good one. But it was more fun to go downtown and work for Bullock Jewelry. It was Harding Bullock Jewelry at that time, and I had to take a pay cut. I was making $1.47 at the book at the jewelry store. But at that time on Main Street, we still had Cruise Bags and Fashion Bar and White and Davis and all the a
lot of action down there then.
Yeah. Oh, downtown Pueblo was the red hot in those days.
Sure.
Yeah, it was fun to be there, and I worked at the jewelry store for many years till we got married, and moved to Wichita. But anyway,
and then later on in the 70s, you worked at the Book Nook. Wasn't that on the south side, or
yes,
where was it?
that was the Book Nook. Was way out on Prairie, and then they had a fire, and it burned so many things in there they had to move from the fire.
It was where Vance's bicycles.
That's the same building, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And we moved to right behind Burger King, which is a big office buildings and stuff. We were there for a while, and then we moved over behind Wendy's. Plaza del Sol? Yeah. And we were there till Mr. and Mrs. Hensman sold the business. And so
it would have been in the 70s or 80s or something like that.
Yeah, 70s and 80s, something like that.
I'll be darned.
But it was a great job. I enjoyed that a lot. And but I had teenage boys by that time, and I had
shoes for us.
Well, I had Nick and George, and I had to keep track of them. I couldn't be off working someplace.
Right.
I had to keep tabs on those guys.
Now I know another thing that you really liked was the Colorado State Fair. You always liked Colorado
I loved the state. I loved the fair. I always went. I never missed a year until I got old. And anyway,
which was only a couple of years ago when you started missing.
Well, the pandemic.
Kind of
pandemic showed up too. But
good concerts you saw at the fair?
Oh yeah, Olivia Newton-John and Wayne Newton and Glenn Campbell and oh gosh, I can't think.
Yeah, well, I'm just asking. I'm not asking you to think. I'm just asking.
Well, I'm just telling.
Well, unfortunately, Glenn Campbell, Olivia Newton-John. And Wayne Newton's still alive, isn't he? Yeah, Wayne
yes, he is.
Alive, yeah.
And he put on a show just like it was in Las Vegas. They had on their beautiful gowns, and he had his tuxedo, and the orchestra was just like, his Las Vegas act. Now when you see them, they've got the holy jeans and,
Right. Somehow you don't remember any of the concert tickets I gave you, like the Beach Boys, and I gave you Tony Orlando.
Yes.
You forgot about all those.
No, I didn't now that you tell me. But you gave me the ones for Olivia Newton-John, and they were the ones that were the best seats.
Oh,
I was
really?
about the second row from the stage, and she was terrific. I just loved it, and I appreciate all those freebies that you gave me.
Never seemed like it.
Some freebies down, some of the groups that played down at the Memorial
Hall, it was rock and roll revivals we used to do.
Yeah, I went to some of those thanks to Nick Donovan. But Nick Donovan's not my only son. I have a son named George, and George is the good-looking one. Some of you know George.
Somehow he got the looks, I got the height and the weight.
Yeah. Well, Nick got the height and the weight, but George got the hair.
He got
George
the hair
has
and the looks, yeah.
And that's important. And George got a lot of good muscles and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cute. They're pretty cute.
Yeah, there you go. It's a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's Greatest Hits. My mom in today, Mary Knezevich, on her 90th birthday here on a Friends Friday. Brought to you by Advantage Home Mortgage. Faster, easier, cheaper. It's Pueblo's Greatest Hits, KPHT 95.5. On a Friends Friday, my friend in today, Mary Knezevich, my mother on her 90th birthday. And again, thank you for getting up early. And I was thinking I wanted to tell one of the stories that I remember you telling me that I thought was always a good one, that you were real involved with, was it Christian Women's Club or something like that?
Yes, it was Christian Women's Club, yes.
You were real involved with that for years.
Well, yeah. Well, it met at different places through the years. And I was involved in the music. I was what they call a praise leader. I don't really know anything about music, but they put up with me, and I did it.
It always worked. And,
I did it, yeah. And I enjoyed it. I met a lot of great women there.
Well, I remember one great woman you met. I remember you telling me this story was Ann B. Davis. That was the housekeeper on the Brady Bunch, came to speak. She was like the keynote speaker or whatever at this Christian women's club. And you guys had to go from where you were eating to her hotel, or where you were eating to Memorial Hall or somewhere. I don't remember how the story went. But you had to ride with her in her Porsche to go there to show her how to get there, because we didn't have GPS and things like that back in those days. But was that pretty cool?
Right. Yeah, and you can't tell somebody how to get from the south side across town. There's no way to tell somebody who doesn't know about Pueblo.
So was Alice okay?
So I had to ride with her. And it was quite an experience. We had a lot of really good speakers through the years, and I enjoyed that. I thought I was really pretty nifty to be riding around with her in a Porsche.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, that was something. Well, I was involved in a lot of different women's groups and stuff, and through the years, and just survival when the boys were teens was a big job.
So that was like now we were talking earlier about how you're on Facebook, that social networking and all that.
Yeah.
Back in those days, that was kind of the social networking thing.
Well, right. And I don't know, my husband, Nick, a lot of people knew Nick. And he was real tolerant of me being gone all the time, and because he
didn't want to go anywhere.
No, he didn't go anywhere. He didn't care. He didn't mind if I went, and usually I had the guys along with me, or we were going to the same place. He didn't understand why Nick and George and me. Is that proper English?
Probably. It doesn't matter. It's only radio.
It's just radio. They don't know. Okay. He couldn't understand why the three of us were going to the same place, and it took 3 cars to get there. But we all went at a different time, or came home at a different time, or picking up somebody or something. But he was always real tolerant about me on the go, and people would call and ask for me, and he'd say, well, she's not here, but she'll stop by to pick up the mail in a while. So so I was out a lot.
But it was all good stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. He knew. Well, I mean, you can't go too wrong if you're at church.
Well, I wouldn't think so, but look at Jim Baker.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Jimmy Swaggart.
Well, we'll leave that one alone, I guess. But there you go. It's a Friends Friday on this Friday morning. My mom in on her 90th birthday. Mary Knezevich, Friends Friday, brought to you by Advantage Home Mortgage. Faster, easier, cheaper. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, my mom on her 90th birthday, Mary Knezevich. Once again, thank you for coming in, and we're chatting about stuff kind of through your life, my life, a little bit like that there. But now I forgot what I was going to ask you.
Well, I hadn't make up an answer yet.
Yeah, you're
anyway.
Probably lying about all the answers I've asked you about.
Well, I haven't been very interesting in the last 15 years or so.
Well, I don't know. I think you have been. But I was just thinking about your favorite TV shows now. Back in the day, I know we all grew up watching the same stuff in the 60s and 70s and now. What do you watch on TV now?
Well, a lot of everything. I watch a lot of medical shows.
Oh, medical shows.
See, when you get old and everything goes wrong, you're interested in medical stuff.
Do you think that Hollywood stuff is true to life there? Or?
Well, I don't care. It gives me something to think about. But, Grey's Anatomy and The Resident and The Good Doctor, and there's a whole bunch of them.
Okay, right.
My favorite one was Dancing with the Stars.
Oh.
And they moved it over to a channel that I don't get.
So you can't watch Dancing with the Stars?
I don't get to watch it this year. Oh, that was a sad move. Yeah, that was a sad move. But I spent a lot of time on my phone.
Well, I know. We've talked about that a little bit earlier, too.
I know. I spend
you're quite the social media butterfly or whatever.
Well, I don't know. But I'm on Facebook enough to get in trouble once in a while. You know how you do.
So you haven't got thrown in Facebook jail, though, right?
No. I think I did get some scolding. What do you call it? A warning or something.
Oh, really?
I
didn't know that, so you kept that from me.
I think it was back when we were all fussing about Trump. And I probably said some things that didn't
go over well, and you got your hand slapped a little bit there.
Because I'm so conservative, it's terrible. It's terrible. And so I imagine it was one of those.
But you also voted for Bill Clinton because you said he had good hair.
Well, I like hair, yes.
I noticed that, yeah.
And but I did not vote for Bill Clinton, and you're always saying that.
Well, I thought you told me that you voted for him because he had good hair.
No, I didn't. I didn't vote for. I'm a Republican.
Well, we don't need to get into that there.
Well, I know, but I mean, the Republicans
don't always have good hair. Is that what you're saying?
Got me in trouble.
But you did go see. Did you go see JFK when he was here in Pueblo?
Yes, he was downtown Pueblo, and I was in the crowd.
Of how many people, or thousands of people?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was quite an occasion, and he was quite the guy. He was a Democrat, but he was one of those good Democrats.
Okay.
That was before Biden came along.
And he had good hair. He
had good hair too. Okay. Yeah, that was in his favor.
In his favor, yeah.
I never cared much for Nixon.
I got you. Well, I didn't really want to get political on this, but there you go. It's a Friends Friday. My mom in here on a Friends Friday. Brought to you by Advantage Home Mortgage. Faster, easier, cheaper. It's Pueblo's greatest hits. KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today on her 90th birthday, my mom, Mary Knezevich. So again, thanks for getting up early. You usually don't like to get up early, so thank you for getting up early here. And one thing I noticed that I've always found this hard to believe. You're such a Colorado Rockies fan. You got to watch every Colorado Rockies game.
Yeah, I watch a Rockies fan. I watch the Broncos too, but I don't understand football as much. And of course, the Rockies, it's baseball. And after dating all those baseball players,
I guess it kind of makes sense.
Kind of understand that.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense, I guess. But you really like watching baseball.
Yeah.
And I never would have thought that growing up. I just never thought you liked sports at all.
I don't think I did. I was busy.
Well, yeah,
I'm not busy. I'm not busy now. You're not very busy. Well, I'm busy, but I mean.
Yeah, not going all the time.
I'm not
or whatever.
on the go all the time. So, when the pandemic showed up about that time, I began to get some health issues. And so between the two of them, I kind of got a slippery slope I went on. And so I'm not as active as I used to be, but I'm still on the go.
So you don't care about the Broncos then?
Oh yeah, but they're kind of messed up, aren't they?
Well, I don't want to go there. Here we go. No, getting political again.
That's
I guess
worse than politics, isn't it?
So you're not a big Russell Wilson fan. Were you a Peyton Manning fan then?
Oh yeah, I was Peyton Manning. I was back when Elway was going and with all of the Super Bowls and all that kind of stuff.
So you were a Broncos fan then, but now not
now
so
I
much.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I guess they're in the baseball playoffs now, but I don't get that channel. Yeah, I don't get that channel, so I don't watch the playoffs.
Oh, really? So you can't watch the World Series or any of that stuff that's going on?
Well, I think maybe the World Series will be.
It'll probably be on regular TV,
but if you want to pay a little more for me to get ESPN, well, I'll watch that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Hint, right?
No, I don't have that channel, but and I do have KPHT on the radio.
Well, that's the right answers to say there,
Did I read that right, like you told me to?
Yeah, I didn't even say that because I figured you were going to say KDZA anyway.
Well, yeah, that was the beginning. You went to work at like 2 o'clock in the morning on something called the boards. And you never said a word. You just
ran the equipment. Yeah,
plugged in the music, and you didn't even know what a computer was.
Yeah, this was when I got on the radio. We didn't have a computer.
Yeah, well, I guess so.
We were playing 45s.
Yeah, you played music in the middle of the night, and Lee Douglas kind of promoted you, and you moved up a little bit, and then you moved up a little bit more.
Pretty soon they let me talk.
And pretty soon they let you talk, well, the rest is history.
Yeah, they probably should be. But you would stay up till like 3 o'clock in the morning to listen to me while I was...
Oh, yeah. I just thought you were the greatest professional. He asked me who was the greatest professional person that I met.
Yeah, besides Ann B. Davis.
So, yeah. Well, it was Nick Donovan.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I had these 8-track tapes, and I would tape all his shows because I just thought he was a celebrity.
Actually, those were cassettes, not 8-tracks.
No, I have 8 tracks right now.
But you didn't record me on an 8-track.
Yes, I've got you on several of them.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I guess I'll have to look through that stuff.
No.
Anyway, it's a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5. Pueblo's greatest hits. My friend in today, my mom, 90 years old today. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. One more time, my friend in today, my mom on her 90th birthday, and I should have locked the door because you never know who's going to show up. My brother shows up here, too, to make sure that everything's on the up and up, I guess, right?
Oh, it's George.
Yeah, and you? How are you today?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Get closer.
90 years old, can you imagine that?
Yeah, it's amazing. So happy to have her celebrate her 90th birthday.
Yeah, I remember when she was 32.
Yeah?
I remember when my waist was 32, too, I think.
You remember before you were born, you remember.
Probably, yeah, probably.
And you keep calling me your friend.
Uh-huh.
Well, I've been more than a friend.
Well, you have, but you've been my friend for 64 years.
Is that how old you are?
I think so. I guess it all works out that way.
Well, I've been celebrating already for a whole week.
Well, and you've done that for years and years and years.
Yeah,
it's like the birthday week or the birthday month or something like that.
Yeah, at least 2 weeks. I want to give everybody a chance to take me to dinner.
There you go.
Or lunch, yeah. So I have to stretch it out.
So you're kind of a mooch is what you're saying.
Yeah. And now that I'm old, all I can do is eat. I don't go bowling or play basketball or dance. Right. I'd rather dance than eat.
So your favorite thing to get usually is a gift card to somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I got gift cards, yeah. I like to get gift cards.
And Burger King, do you still go to Burger King?
Just send them to Nick and he'll give them to me.
He'll make sure you get them, yeah. But
well, I don't know, but I enjoyed, my favorite thing was dancing. I love to dance. Well, when I joined the Baptist church, they didn't dance.
They didn't dance at church?
So I had to start singing. So I joined the choir. And I sang for a lot of years and that. Well, now I'm not doing either one of those, so now all I can do is eat.
Good enough.
So that's what I do on my bread, is eat.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you, friend.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming in. Love you, and happy birthday.
Love you, too. Thanks for stopping by, George.
All right. There you go. It's a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits.